Coming to you live from the second floor of the Blackwell Library, this is 96.3 FM, WXSU, LP Salisbury.
Good evening, Salisbury and elsewhere. Welcome back to the next episode here of Whatcha Playin here at WXSU LP Salisbury with myself, David, and my co-host,
Jeremy, and our special guest.
Absolutely. So we have a special guest today. How about you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Pascal Joined. I do music composition, and I'm here. I've been invited to talk about a game that I'm working on called Pokemon Unbound, a Pokemon Fire Red ROM hack made by Skelly. So yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. It's a very new thing for me, but it's very cool.
Oh, dude, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. It really is a big honor to have someone who has a little more experience with the gaming world to kind of come on to our show. And so anyone who's listening who doesn't understand can get an idea of what it is you do.
If anyone's into Pokemon at all, I do have to highly recommend this game. It's not only, I think, probably the best Pokemon ROM hack out there, but one of my top 3 Pokemon games of all time.
Yeah,
period. It's very good.
Admittedly, Pascal, I don't know too much about ROM hacks or Pokemon Unbound for that matter. But the little bit of research I did do into it before the show today, it seemed very impressive. The amount of work that all these people. How big is your guys' team?
That is a good question. I think I am the sound director for the game, so I mainly go over the music. But we have a lot of testers and scripters and whatever. But Skelly is the one doing most of the programming by himself, basically.
Yeah. Right. But even still, from what I heard, it's a Fire Red, basically.
Well, the engine.
The engine. But
the game is they're not. They don't even.
So Skelly built his own engine called the Complete Fire Red Upgrade,
which a lot of them.
Is what adds all of the new Pokemon and all of the new features and everything. It basically just expands Fire Red. And on top of that, he did the Unbound stuff that is now in the game. So it's kind of if people want to make their own ROM hack, the Complete Fire Red Upgrade is also available to just use as a starting point.
Yeah, that's what I think is. Go ahead. Yeah, but that's what I think is really cool about the whole thing is, it is this sort of passion project as far as I know, but Skelly's given the chance for people who are aspiring to do something with that engine the chance to do it, and I think that's super, super awesome. It just goes to show how tightly knit the community is.
Yeah, it's very impressive work, and all for free. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. So
Skelly's
it's just
also very much about that not making money with ROM hacks because it's not our IP. So if you see
Nintendo would
any
DMCA.
ROM hackers asking for donations, that's a little scummy in my opinion.
It's illegal, I think.
We're all doing it for free.
Isn't it illegal?
Yeah, you could get striked by Nintendo and you're
and Game Freak.
DMCA.
Have you guys ever had any problems with Nintendo reaching out, be like, hey, we want you to shut this down?
I feel like if that
Luckily,
happens...
not yet. Not yet, luckily. We're hoping not to get any of that.
Well, the thing is,
leaving it for free.
is like the new Pokemon games, like Pokemon Sword and Shield, and like, like even something like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Like I just haven't even touched them because I think the old stuff is so much better, and ROM hacks like Pokemon Unbound are just have much more heart and soul poured into them than the new stuff that's coming out now.
Well,
so I'd rather play something like what you guys are working on.
The way I see it is when you think about it from the perspective of someone who's playing the games. If you're working in a studio, you have to kind of take a wild guess on whether an innovation will hit the fan base or not, or whether it'll fizzle out. And I think you're right to say that the recent Pokemon games have really struggled to maintain, anyone but the die-hard fans. And I think what makes Unbound so special is the fact that, it's basically the ideas of the people who play the games and go, okay, this is what I want. So, and then they make it for other people, and that's super cool.
Yeah, I actually...
That is what we tried. You do have to be fair. With Sword and Shield, that game was extremely rushed, and they were understaffed and all of that. So they really did try their best with that game. But that's also what you can see back in the DLC. The DLC of that game is, like, amazing. I love that. The base game is, like, fine, but there's not much to do when you actually beat the game itself. There's no real post-game.
Right.
So, Pascal, what I really wanted to ask you is, so can you tell us about your work on Unbound? What you use and how, and maybe a little bit of how you kind of ended up being on the Unbound team, how that sort of went down. You mind talking about that?
Yeah, for sure.
Sure. I think it was July of 2020. I think I posted like a remix on Reddit or some stupid stuff like that, and I just got a DM from Skelly himself. He was like, "Your music is good. Do you want to work on my game?" And at that point, I had no idea what Unbound was. But then when I started looking into it, I was like, "Holy damn, this is crazy." So that's when I just started like doing what he requested me to do. And at the start, I also the current public version of the game is like very, very mediocre in my eyes. The music-wise, I mean. Because when we started doing the music, we had no idea how the engine worked and all of that, so it's kind of a mess. So I'm very excited for the new update to come out soon. Because
and when's that gonna?
If you like this version, it's like, holy, it's insane.
So when is this new update set to come out? Do you have a date or like a time frame?
Yeah, we were trying to aim for December again.
Okay.
This year.
That's cool.
I don't know if we can do it because we have a lot of stuff to do, but that would be cool.
So
hopefully December.
I have a question. So you're into audio. I know we briefly spoke on Discord talking about using FL Studio, I think, to make the songs and then converting them to the MIDI so the GBA can read it, right? Because I have a little more knowledge about ROM hacking and emulation and that type of stuff than David.
Yeah.
And I've actually fiddled with FL Studio a little bit myself and done some game programming.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But
cool.
So are you in school for audio or anything like that? Is this something I think you definitely could use on a resume if you were getting into some sort of audio production job?
Or is this just kind of a pastime that you do just for fun?
I started with FL Studio when I was, I think, 14 or something.
Oh, okay. So it's been at a while.
But I did actually. I'm in music college right now.
Oh, awesome.
I started after I had already started using FL Studio. So,
Guess you get a leg
I
up.
don't know. I wouldn't say that college really. I don't think you really need like school for learning how to do like FL Studio. I kind of
I agree.
myself that and with like online tutorials and whatever.
Yeah, that's how I taught myself that stuff too.
Yeah. No. For a Game Boy Advance basically just reads notes that aka a MIDI file. It's composed of notes. And the game itself has all of the samples separately inside of it. So it just you basically have to tell the Game Boy what sound needs to go on which track, and then it will put the samples over the notes that you put into it. It's really complex and weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
at the same
that's
time,
called synthesized.
like I did take a little time to listen to some of the tracks that you've composed for Pokemon Unbound.
Oh, they're awesome.
And yeah, honestly, I was
They're
I
so
was super
good.
impressed. And I couldn't help but feel like I had been drawn back to the old school, sort of like Sega Genesis, early,
They're on par with
kind
like the
of-
Pokemon OSTs.
kind of the synth wavy kind of sound to it. I think it's really, really good stuff, and it's just really cool to have, custom work in something that's not officially created by Game Freak or Nintendo.
But like for most people, like if you put his song side by side with like Battle Dialga Palkia or Battle Cynthia, like they sound on par, and I really do mean that. Like it's you did a perfect job of using the right instrument and stuff. Like there over the summer, I was bopping to Battle Trainer and Battle Rival like in my car, like almost every day, like on the way to work. So I
Thank you, man.
really
Thank
am a
you.
big
I
fan.
appreciate that.
Yeah, honestly, it comes down to having it be very thematically appropriate for the sort of feel that you're trying to emulate, and I think you did a really good job. So props to that, for sure.
Thank you a lot. I appreciate that. Yeah, we've been since last December was when we released this current version of the game. Since then, we found a guy who upgraded like the sample rate of the audio engine.
Oh, yeah,
so it sounds like
yeah.
almost as clean as the DS now.
That's crazy.
And we had me and another friend of mine. We started like importing our own instruments to mix with like the
Yeah,
Pokemon
that's
instruments
awesome.
that are
That's
already in
insane.
there. So it's like insane now, and we have about 100 tracks done for the game
Mhm.
at this moment, and we're gonna get around 150 to 200. No, we'll have to see if we have time for that, but that's what we're trying to do right now. We have about 11 composers on the team.
Oh, really?
That's
So
good.
you as a director are being, I guess, the head honcho then for sound.
Yeah, I'm still doing most of the songs, and I'm testing everything and writing all the stuff down everywhere and making sure that everything works. But we do have a lot of other composers because we
Yeah.
have so many songs that just 2 or 3 people, I don't think we would have been able to do that.
Well,
sure, yeah.
And I think it's a time thing too. I'd imagine you could probably get songs done much quicker with a little bit of extra help
Mm-hmm.
than
Especially
by
Yeah,
since
yourself.
definitely.
it's not like this is his full-time job,
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
And you're not
definitely
making money
We
off
actually
of it
got
either.
I don't know if you know this. We have Same on there.
You have
He's
what?
a guy who does Pokemon remasters. He's a
Oh.
friend of mine.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
really?
cool.
So, this kind of leads me into my next couple questions. Well, one, I guess saying the type of challenges which you've gotten into a little, working with hardware, because you guys have to go to the confines of the GBA, which, correct me if I'm wrong, Pokemon Unbound, you could dump onto a cartridge and it would play on real hardware, correct?
Yeah, I actually have it laying right next to me.
Oh,
That's awesome.
crazy. What's the process of doing that?
I know, but I'll let him say.
Yeah. So what's the
Sorry, what was your...
what's the process of
Playing it
sort
on
of-
real hardware.
yeah, getting the ROM hack onto a cartridge to play on like an actual Game Boy?
Well, I personally use a flash card for that,
yeah.
so you can just
Figured.
it has a micro SD card in the side of it, and you can put it in your computer and just put ROMs on it, and then
Oh,
play it
Yeah,
on
it's
your
super
Game
cool.
Boy.
You can do them with the DS and stuff too.
technology's so cool, man.
No, it's cool.
Yeah, you have those R4 cards or whatever for the DS.
Yeah. So do
You
you
use those too.
do you prefer playing it on your PC through emulator, or you prefer playing it on the actual Game Boy?
Definitely on an actual Game Boy.
That's cool, yeah.
I really don't like playing on my computer.
I bet it feels a little
I don't know.
clunky. I'd imagine.
Yeah, it feels really weird. But on a Game Boy, it's like you actually made a game for a Game Boy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's all.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
made
you
this
guys
actual
did
Game
actually
Boy
make one.
game.
That's crazy
Yeah.
to think.
So if I'm playing it on my computer, it's more like, oh, it's just like this, I don't know, this computer game. But if it's on my Game Boy or on my 3DS, I also modded my 3DS and put it on there as well.
That's awesome.
You know-
It's just great.
What it actually reminds me a little bit of gaming history trivia. You might know this. So back when the Atari was big, there were a lot of people who were making
Oh, yeah,
their
just
own Atari games
unlicensed.
that were unlicensed, and they could just
Yeah.
make a couple thousand of them and send them to stores, so you get like really wacky ones out there that still exist.
And it's like not even it's not even like it wasn't even like moderated or regulated at
Yeah.
all. So you just
Because
release
this was
anything.
way before the
Where,
ESRB.
That's where the Bible games on the NES came from.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I assume you're an AVGN fan, maybe?
Yeah, I am. I
think
met
we
him.
are.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I met
So-
him a few years
Oh,
ago.
really?
Yeah,
So we're all fans of him.
I guess it's a little side story, but we have a convention at my old college that I used to go to that's sort of like, it's a little minor con, but, it's like pop culture, gaming, stuff like that. And AVGN came down, and he did like a meet and greet, so you could, go up and, shake his hand and talk to him, maybe get something autographed or whatever, and then he did a Q&A, but we didn't stay for that. But, I got to go up and meet him, and he was a super cool guy.
That's so cool.
So,
I
cause,
bet James Rolfe is really, he sounds
Yeah.
like a really nice person.
He is a cool guy.
like, obviously, the whole AVGN's just a character,
Yeah.
but, like, the guy himself, he is
Yeah.
super nice, super grateful for all his fans and stuff, so he was really cool to meet him.
Was Mike there?
No, it was just him.
But yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah.
But it is really cool to
That's
think,
crazy.
it is really cool to think that you're basically, with your, whatever your PC or whatever you're doing to create that, and then you're able to play your game on, actual hardware as if you've actually,
Yeah.
Created. Would there ever, I'd imagine there'd probably be, some, like, legal issues with trying to distribute cartridges, though, right?
Yeah, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Because of how Nintendo is at the moment. They just can't do anything.
They've always been like that.
They will just they will just destroy it instantly.
But,
So
but I'm
we're not gonna
suppose,
take that risk. But
but I
we are
suppose,
gonna, for the team itself, there's a company that actually makes GBA cards still today.
Yeah.
You can just send them a ROM and they'll put it on there, and you'll have it like an actual.
So, like, just for
not a
you.
Flash, but just an actual cartridge.
yeah, so it's
So-
sort of like a sidestepping the issue sort of thing.
Yeah, we'll just have it for ourselves and like maybe like printable box art. We might make that. But
Oh, that'd be
other
awesome.
than
That actually would be really cool, and then it would it would look like you could probably show it to somebody and be like, this is a Game Boy game.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
completely believe you.
yeah.
That's
I mean,
really awesome.
I mean, I'm telling you though, the polish in Pokemon Unbound is
it
ridiculous.
looks really dang good considering it was supposed to. What? It's a GBA game, right?
Which is crazy because it has all the new mechanics that the
And
later
all the new
DS
Pokemon.
games have in them. Yeah, I know, and
That's
it's
Skelly, man. Skelly is crazy. I don't know how he does this, but he's a coding wizard.
He
can
sounds
do
like it.
anything At this point.
Well, to me, when you think about it, you'd have to wonder about how he got around the hardware restrictions because obviously a Game Boy Advance is nowhere near, what the modern
I forget how much
handhelds
RAM
are.
it has, but it's not a lot.
The max size of this cartridge is 32 megabytes.
Which is, like,
that's all it can take.
really
and I don't know
small.
how he fit this entire
0.03
game in
gigabytes.
32 megabytes.
Something like that.
yeah, 0.03 gigabytes. So it's great. Well, I mean, I think
That's
it
nothing,
there
basically.
is something to say now with the tools and ROM hacking tools and stuff that we do have on PC that wasn't available back in the day that do make it a little easier, but you still are dealing with the restrictions of 20-year-old hardware
Yeah,
almost.
like I could open up an Audacity file on my computer, hit record, and go, "Ugh," and it would probably be more than 32 megabytes.
yeah.
yeah,
Honestly.
definitely. That's why. That's what boggles my mind too, because I have no idea how he did that.
Yeah, honestly,
Still, I have no idea.
maybe we'll have to ask him next week if we
Hey,
can get him to
The whole
come on the show.
Unbound team is welcome. I mean, you
Absolutely.
guys are awesome.
Anytime you guys want to come over and talk about it, or even like, sort of shell out your ROM, that's perfectly cool with us. We have a lot of people, friends of ours, who listen to the show, and I'm sure they'd be really interested in checking out what you have, especially since it's free and you can just kind of go and download it.
Oh yeah. So that leads me into a couple other questions I have for you. One, it's a little personal questions you have to answer, but I mean, you sound like you're around our age. I mean, how old are you, if you don't mind saying? And if you don't want to.
I just turned 20, so.
Oh, really? So I'm 21. You're 21.
Man,
so
way
we're
to
all
make me
around the
feel
same
bad about
age.
my life, man.
So we're all young guys.
Yeah, but honestly, it's really dang impressive to think that. Well, you said you've been doing FL Studio since you were 14. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what made you want to do that? Did you
Yeah.
just decide to, or was there like an artist that did FL Studio that really inspired
There
you?
used to be this, I don't know if you guys heard of it, but there used to be this comic called Homestuck,
Oh, yeah.
I've heard about it.
and
Didn't Toby Fox work on that?
He did.
I was gonna get to that. Toby Fox basically he wrote in 2011, I think I want to say he wrote a tutorial for FL Studio.
Huh.
I
Oh.
loved his music, so I was like, oh well, I'm just gonna try that myself, and that tutorial basically got me into using
Yeah, actually,
Got
all-
Brood Buster queued
yeah,
up right now.
all of us, both of us are really, really big fans of Toby Fox's
Yeah.
work, games and music-wise. So
We love it
that's
all.
actually really neat to hear that's your
That's
inspiration.
how I started with music. I started with making Homestuck fan music.
Oh, really?
That's really
Actually,
awesome.
Undertale when that came out.
Yeah, we love that game.
Yeah, well, actually, I need to play Deltarune, but I have played Undertale, and it is one of my
Yeah.
favorite games that I've played
I still need
recently.
to finish chapter 2.
Yeah, I haven't caught up on Chapter 2
It's
yet.
cool so far.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
It is
great.
but that is really cool to hear that that's one of your big inspirations, because he is.
You know,
I think
it's-
he's a lot of people's inspiration.
It's funny to say that. That's the reason that I...
But way before Undertale at that point.
Well, yeah, he was even way before that, but that's how I started getting into, when I started learning Game Maker Studio 2, and I actually learned how to code. You did too?
Yeah, I still know GML. It's really
Oh,
fun.
yeah, me too. But I started learning how to, I'm a programmer now, so that's a career I'm going into, but yeah, I
Oh, really?
basically
Wow.
got into that because I got into learning Game Maker Studio 2 because I was inspired by Toby Fox, and that's why I downloaded FL Studio. And I made a couple songs that are mixed very bad and probably don't sound very good, but I messed around
It's
with
the
it.
effort that
Yeah,
counts.
I made a ton of those too. You're not alone.
Yeah, but when I decided I liked coding more than making audio. But hey, man, like I said, this your Pokemon Unbound stuff, put it on your resume and stuff. I'm serious. No, people are interested
Yeah.
in seeing that.
People.
Actually, I applied to I think a few platinum games.
Okay.
Oh,
a while
okay.
ago.
You deserve it,
And
man.
they had like spots open, so it might.
You know,
it's on my resume now.
It's crazy
It's always
because so there's a guy on YouTube that I watched. His YouTube's like Hyper or something. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he started off going into I think Blender and making these really comical animations of like weapon reloads from first-person shooters. But now he works at he works at Activision now as like a lead animator.
Yeah.
So he went from animating like a guy throwing up a revolver round and loading it into his gun to animating reloads for Titanfall 2 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare and a bunch of other games. So you never know. Maybe you'll one day
Yeah,
end
that's
up
really cool.
composing music for a major studio or like a big indie hit or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely love to work in Japan at like any video game company. It doesn't even really
Right.
matter.
Actually,
I just
on the radio right now, we got Lena Raine, who did the Celeste soundtrack.
Yeah.
And so I love that game. And
played that yet.
it honestly, to me, when I play indie games like, Celeste, Hades, Katana Zero is another one, the music is such an important part of the experience. And, I think Pokemon Unbound is no different. The people are going to play Pokemon Unbound. And, maybe yourself will inspire somebody to pick up FL Studio and start churning out some songs with, hopes for making it into the gaming industry.
Dude, I'm probably gonna play all his songs on our outro so everyone can hear them.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because
And-
we'll
and
be talking to you.
Speaking of that, Pascal, I do want to thank you so much for allowing us to use your music on our radio show.
it
We
is
really
really cool.
appreciate
yeah, of
that.
course. Anytime, man.
You know,
the stuff sounds awesome.
Yeah, and it's really cool for us to show people who are listening, what people do in the gaming industry with their music. Even in the lesser known, stuff out there is still really good. So thank you again for that.
Yeah.
If Nintendo was smart, they would hire them
Yeah.
and fund them to make a Pokemon game.
That's actually
But
what,
they're
I wish
not.
They were more like Sega, dude. I wish they
Or
were more
Valve.
like Sega.
I know. You
Or
guys
Valve.
or Valve
They
because you
are.
guys would probably all be employed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause-
if they were more like Sega, maybe we'd actually have a chance. But nope.
yeah.
They
Too bad.
yeah.
Because like Sega hired all those guys to make Sonic Mania,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then a lot of the
Lopes,
really
dude.
a
That
lot
was
of-
so crazy. They hired T. Lopes.
yeah.
Who's
That
that?
guy is so cool.
Have you met him?
No, I wish, but he did all the music for Sonic Mania by
Oh.
himself.
Is that like
man
Casino
is,
Zone?
Crazy.
So yeah,
He was a fan. he was just a fan game musician for like Sonic fan games, and then he suddenly got hired for Sonic Mania. Like, oh my god,
Dude, could be you,
that's
man.
so cool.
You never know.
Could be you.
You can always hope. I mean, I wouldn't hold out hope, but you know, the option's always open, and you know, you can always explore. But that's up to you, man. You know, I think you definitely got the talent for it. But it reminds me, like, because Valve also did a similar
They
thing.
do stuff like that.
So
yeah.
for Portal, it was a bunch of, I think it was a college game or something. It was Narbacular Drop is what they made. It was essentially like the same concept as Portal.
Yeah.
And then Valve was like, oh, we like you guys, we're gonna hire you, and you're gonna make a game for us. And that's how Portal became a thing.
I wish Nintendo would do that for the Mother Encore devs and the. Are you familiar with Mother? Any of those fan projects coming up?
Yeah, I've been looking at a few Mother fan projects and a few Metroid ones as well.
Oh yeah, I love
think
Metroid.
One of the Metroid ones got shut down last night.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It's really sad.
It always is really sad seeing fan games get shut down. Star Wars fan games get shut down all the time.
Really?
Because
I did not
Disney's
know
just
that.
as bad as Nintendo. You know, you do anything with like a Disney IP, even if it's a fan game, you're not making any money, they will like tell you to take it down.
What frustrates me about Nintendo is that like
Rockstar's the same way.
they're shutting down people that just really love their games. Like if they shut down Pokemon Unbound like tomorrow, which I don't even want to say that.
Yeah, I don't even want
But
to hope that
like
happens.
like it's the people,
possible, yeah.
the general market, like the general people who are into Switch, like don't even know what an emulator is. So like. It's really people that are already tech savvy and into that stuff. So it's not like you guys are even really stealing any revenue or hurting anything from Nintendo anyway.
Yeah, it's just really sad to think, because when a big studio shuts down a fan game, the only people that get hurt are the people who spent hours and hours of their real life time
Pouring
and
their soul
effort,
into the game.
putting effort into their
Yeah.
fan games, and
they're
it's just for
just
nothing.
making themselves look even worse.
I know.
So
They're shooting themselves in the foot.
They're not getting anything back from that, I don't think, because
Yeah.
we're already not making any money.
And I think
Yeah.
what's really
Doing
sad
it for
about
fun,
it is a
so-
lot of those fan games get shut down, and then it just goes under the radar. Like, you know, maybe one or two gaming outlets will, you know, post about it or something, but most people, like Jeremy said, don't have an emulator or don't know what a ROM hack is,
Yeah.
and are going to have no idea and not be completely unaffected. But you guys who spent all this time, you're just kind of getting it, and there's nothing you can really do about it, which is just a shame to me.
It's so funny because I've been on such an emulation spree lately. I downloaded like 80 gigabytes worth of ROMs today.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I just installed an IPS display in my Game Boy Advance, so it's like actually the screen is like better than my computer screen now.
Oh, so the you installed a new screen into it then?
Yeah, it's like the GBASP has like a light up screen, but it's like a front lit.
Isn't it not backlit? Yeah.
Yeah, it's front lit, and you have to
So,
press the button to
I
do
have
it.
an IPS display now, and it's like way better quality than even my computer screen. So it looks awesome.
So you just pulled the
And I'm
GBA
playing
apart
with
and put it in. I mean, you'll mess with the GBA hardware then. You don't care.
It's not like the Steam
don't
Deck.
mind
It's
that.
not like it's gonna blow up
It'll
and kill
explode if you do it wrong.
you. Yeah. Honestly, I had a Game Boy Advance SP when I was a little kid, and I loved that thing. I played, you know, all sorts of pretty much any.
Handheld.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
really one of the
awesome.
best handhelds ever to come out, and there were so many good games for it, you know, and they ran well and they played well. So I played like Super Mario World and.
Oh yeah,
You know,
the,
all sorts of
the
racing
classics, the
games.
classics.
And unfortunately, my Game Boy Advance SP met its untimely end when my sister took it into bed with her, fell asleep, and then rolled over.
Oh
on
no!
it, snapped it in half.
I've done that to a DS screen before,
Yeah, it was really sad, but I
My
did get a
brother did
DS.
that to all my DS lights.
and then the screen is just like it's like completely broken, but it's like just like
Hanging off.
hanging back, and it's just like So I guess I'll use this to go into a question. So obviously you love Pokemon. I'm sure you're very passionate about Pokemon. What age were you introduced to it? And what are some of your favorite games and favorite memories of, you know, just playing the Pokemon series? I mean, I grew up on them. I loved them. I want to hear about it from you.
Yeah, I was really young. I was like 6, I think.
Okay.
I think my parents took me on vacation to Turkey, and my uncle gave me
Oh, that's cool.
GBA just to borrow.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave me Pokemon Ruby and Fire Red with it. So those are the first ones that I ever played. My favorites are, that's hard. Definitely Emerald and Black too.
Okay.
Those two are just, oh my god.
Emerald's
Yeah.
great.
See-
And Black and White 2 is so good. I love Go Ichinoze. He's
Uh,
definitely my biggest inspiration for Unbound soundtrack. Go Ichinoze, his music.
Battle Chorus, Battle Team Plasma.
There's some good stuff in there.
Great stuff in there.
See, my thing is my experience with Pokemon is very limited because when I was a kid, I saw other people playing it, and I wanted to get it, but the first Pokemon I ever played was Red version,
Okay.
On the
That's
Game
the
Boy Color.
the OG one.
the old one, and I love that game. It's really good. And then but I never got super into it. I think I played Platinum a few times, but I played more Pokemon Heart Gold
Yeah, that's a
than
good one.
anything. But
Those are great too.
so like
Those are really good.
they're just, but everything since then, I just, like, if I'm being honest, for a while, because Pokemon's always been more of a handheld type game. It just never really was super big on the consoles. Well, I mean, obviously now
Right.
with the Switch, it's both. It's a handheld and a console.
Right.
So, but even still, the modern Pokemon games that have come out on the Switch, I just never really could get into. They just didn't look super interesting to me.
Yeah, that's the same with me. That's why, actually, I was thinking about buying Sword and Shield, and then I literally came across this Pokemon Unbound. It was towards the middle to the end of last semester, and I got into that, and I was like, well, why am I going to buy Pokemon Sword and Shield when I clearly have a much better game here?
Honestly,
And
I
played
think
that.
I think I might have to check it out now.
You
that
really should.
Now that I know about it, and I know how much effort's gone into it, and since I've gotten a chance to talk with Pascal here, maybe I'll have to go check it out.
It's like
at
a
some point.
35, 40-hour story. Like, it's a long game.
And there's endgame content as well.
And
right?
there's a lot of endgame
missions.
content. And there's it's
I
like
would honestly just recommend waiting for the new update.
the December
because
update.
Okay,
the new
fair enough.
update is so good and different. It's basically a different game.
Really?
It's insane. It's even like if you like how it looks and how it sounds and how it plays now, the new update is like Skelly calls it Unbound Platinum. It's like it's a crazy update. There's so much new stuff.
Could you give us any
It's-
sneak
wow.
peeks on any of that stuff?
Yeah, is there anything you talk about?
Oh my god, Skelly's gonna kill me.
Oh man.
Well, there's a lot of changes to the story and a lot of new characters.
Oh, okay,
sprites.
really?
Like, a lot of the character sprites that are in the game now are just like reused
Okay.
assets from like existing games, but we have a lot of artists that are redoing all of them and giving
Oh
them
my
original
gosh!
designs.
Wow.
All of the routes have been redesigned. Obviously, all of the music. There's a lot of new music. The entire music engine has been upgraded. Yeah, there's.
I might have to give it a second
there's
playthrough.
There's a lot more post game as well.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
So,
I know there's still a few Pokemon that aren't in yet, like Mew and Mewtwo. If I'm correct, aren't obtainable without like Game Shark codes.
yeah, that'll all be all the Pokemon from Gen 1 to Gen 7 should be in the game.
So is this like the
It's,
the
complete.
first like full release, like full release?
I mean,
Yeah, this was like the first like beta where you could actually finish the game because the previous one I think only went to the second gen.
huh?
And
What
that
do you
one is
mean?
like from 2016. That one's really old.
Okay, well then this one, because that was the first beta,
The
but like,
newest one is gonna be whoa.
cause I know the last one I played was still very polished and stuff, and I was surprised to even hear that you're adding that much more stuff in. Wow, you guys are really.
Yeah, that's really
I'm telling
impressive.
you,
the amount.
it's top shelf. Like it's a professional level game. Like
It's a lot of content to throw into a ROM hack,
I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, this is Skelly's child basically. This is his kid now.
This
Yeah,
is gonna
I mean-
land him
Wow.
probably gonna land him a game development
I
job.
hope
Might
so.
land you guys audio game jobs too.
I'm surprised if he doesn't get a job with this because this is so impressive. For
I
just,
know.
like, one guy.
Dude, it's
Make all of this.
so awesome.
Like, and what made me really sad is because like I said, I did a little bit of research into Unbound. When you Google search Pokemon Unbound, the first thing that comes up is like fandom, Poke community, and Reddit, and like that's it. There's no major outlets talking about it, which makes me really sad because
it's a double-edged sword though, because if it gets too well known,
popular.
Nintendo will be like, oh, bye. Especially, it's not like it's Mother one of those IPs that Nintendo doesn't really care about anymore. You know, this is
it's
Pokemon, so this is, you know, Pokemon is actually the biggest money-making franchise, including like other like movie franchises too, like including Star Wars and Mario and
It's gotta be
other
up there.
thing. No, Pokemon is the #1 money-making franchise of all time. It's actually confirmed.
No, that is divided over 3 companies, so...
Yeah.
But
when
still.
You keep saying that Game Freak is a multi-million-dollar company. It really isn't. They don't have that much money, and they don't have that much staff. They're, like, vastly understaffed. That's why all the games now are, like, looking not like a multi-million-dollar game, because they aren't.
Huh.
They really don't have as much as people think they do. It's more the Pokemon Company and creatures and stuff.
Right.
They get
Yeah,
more cuts
it's
from all the merch and everything.
it's a big licensing and franchising like nightmare as far as I know, because I'm completely out of
it's
the
a
loop.
mess.
But
Man.
yeah,
It's a complete
This
mess.
is awesome. I mean, you really sound really similar to both of us.
yeah.
I
Honestly,
mean,
the same sort of passion to the hobby.
especially the type of stuff I'm into with like the game development and like all
Yeah,
the
especially
emulation
you.
stuff I like. I really have a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
awesome.
I've been into ROM hacks since like 2011 when they were still using like
Wow.
what's that program called? Like the advanced map, I think.
Oh yeah.
Something like that.
Well, it's so
Some
cool
crappy programs.
with the Fire Red
it was
upgrade
really
engine
fun.
that Skelly made, because one, it's isn't it basically there's like a tool to hack Fire Red, which Fire Red and Pokemon Unbound, like you wouldn't even be able to tell they're from the same game. Like there's little to no resemblance. And like I've seen other ROM hacks, you know, like I think it's like something Fire Red. I don't know, the one that's like the hard one. It's like I don't know what it's called. It's like Fire Red, but with a
Radical Red.
Radical Red. That's it. Is built off that. I
That
don't.
one, yeah, that one is basically using the complete Fire Red upgrade and like some slight changes in the story and regions, but it's mostly the Fire Red upgrade that is doing that made that game possible. It's not
Mhm.
like the actual developer who did that.
Right.
So that's like the engine that Skelly and some other guys made.
Yeah,
So most people get that wrong, but
Okay.
yeah.
fair enough.
Fair enough.
That game is very simple, below the actual Fire Red upgrade that is doing most of the work.
Well, because isn't it just
Which
like
is,
new
yeah, it's just a
Pokemon,
difficulty hack.
level adjustments, stuff like that?
Yeah, but that's honestly, there's still. I can't help but be impressed with the amount of effort that's being put into these passion projects. I think it's super cool.
I know.
And they honestly deserve, like you said, it's a double-edged sword, but I wish there was a universe that we could live in where the good publicity would be a good thing and wouldn't risk shutting it down.
It's sad because the state of gaming today, you know, you get your general people, like most of the population aren't really into gaming with us. They get their, you got your Call of Duty, you got your Madden, and they're set, they're loving it. And whereas, like, if you really take a dive just a little deeper and into the world of emulation and all these all these old games that are already out that you can play, and also these projects like, you know, what Pascal and Skelly are working on that are really, really great, but people aren't even informed that they exist, and I think it's really sad.
It's the gaming iceberg.
Right.
Right?
It really is.
You got Madden and Call of Duty on the top surface of the iceberg, and then Pokemon Unbound is like in the dark area where it's starting to get a little chilly.
And I think this is a good opportunity for us to ask Skull some questions. We can take a little detour from this because I don't want to get him in trouble. I don't want Skelly coming over to fight him. But what kind of games are you into playing, you know, outside of this? You know, we talk about it, we have some stuff on Steam. I assume you have some sort of nice PC and stuff to do this sort of development. What kind of setup are you running, and what kind of games do you like to play?
That's a good question.
Well, I'm more of a console guy.
Okay.
I do have PC games and stuff. And
Surprising.
I don't know, I have like an Acer Nitro 5 laptop. So
Oh,
I
okay.
can just run my music stuff, that's all.
You have another monitor or anything, like a workspace set up for FL Studio, or?
No, I really just have this computer to do all my. It's better
Okay.
than when I used to have like a MacBook from 2011.
Yeah, I had a
Up
Mac.
until last year. So.
Oh, really?
That's actually
I finally have
impressive.
a good computer now that can actually run my music stuff.
Yeah,
But
it's
that's
awesome.
really all I need it for.
You on
because
Switch?
ROM hacking doesn't take that much stuff.
Yeah, what console stuff do you play?
I have a lot of. That's probably obvious, but I have a lot of Nintendo consoles.
Okay.
I'm really into Nintendo.
Right.
That's fair.
So, yeah, my entire room is like filled with games. I'm like trying to look around to see what crap. Recently I've been really into Drill Dozer.
Well, Drill Dozer.
It's a GBA game by Game Freak that was
Okay.
made after Fire Red.
I'm about to look this up.
It's like a game where you're playing as a little girl in a robot drill to get like special items from like secret organizations. It's really cool. It's a very fun game, and it uses the rumble feature in the cartridge.
I'll add it to my ROM collection later.
Honestly, yeah, there's so many good ones that are hidden there.
That's a good thing about the Easy Flash Omega, which is what I'm using to run
just
my
get the
games.
ROM and play it.
That thing has it also has a Rumble thing in it.
Oh,
So if you play
super cool.
games that support Rumble, it has that as well.
That's awesome, man.
Besides that, I'm also really into WarioWare.
Oh,
I love that
really?
series.
I've never played it, but I've
I
always
heard the
wanted to
new
try
one's
it.
good.
The new one's good, but I really like the GBA ones.
Yeah. The like
Especially
tilt one,
Twisted.
twist and shake. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
It's impressive they were able to get all of that like movement stuff in there.
WarioWare Twisted has like a gyro in the cartridge, so you can like spin
it's
your GBA
in the
around and
cartridge?
stuff,
That's
so
crazy.
That one's cool.
That's
I
innovation.
heard about that a little bit, but I've been messing around with the emulation, so maybe I'll find some sort of way I can maybe use my DualShock 4's like gyro or something to do it and play that game somehow.
Yeah, probably. It's just really fun. All the WarioWare games, I really love those. I'm really into weird like comedic games like that.
Oh, yeah,
it's kind
I
of like
love
a
that.
comedy anime, but in a game.
Fair enough, I get that.
So
yeah, and RPGs, I don't know. I'm not. It's weird because I really love Pokemon, but other than that, I'm not that much of an RPG guy because I always get bored really quickly.
Yeah,
That's
I mean
funny.
that's fair enough. Actually, I am a big RPG guy, but it has to be like done right. Like I can't
Yeah,
play.
it has to be done really, really right. Otherwise,
So-
I'll get bored really
So games
fast.
like Skyrim or like Persona 5, I've been playing a lot. You know, all those types of Dark Souls, I guess you could count.
Dark Souls.
You know, they have to have something else going for them besides being an RPG for me to enjoy it.
All right,
But fair enough.
Right.
man. So I guess
I
we.
really like Final Fantasy VIII, though. That is a good.
I've been meaning to
Good
play Final
Final
Fantasy VII, but I've been putting it off for so long because I play so many different
Yeah.
games.
I started that, but I don't know why. I just lost interest really fast.
The remake
Yeah,
just
I don't know
doesn't
what it
interest me. I want to play the original.
True. I might have to check these out. I've never
Yeah.
checked these out.
But anyway, it is approaching 5:45. I think this is a good place to
Do
to
the
end off the
news?
interview here.
Or the
Pascal,
interview.
we do. I do the news segment of our show, so I would like to move on to that because I got some really juicy news today.
Well, could he
But
join us for the
Sure,
news,
sure.
possibly?
Would you be fine with that? Would you be fine with joining us for the news,
I-
Pascal?
Sure,
He's
I
in-
guess I have time.
He's into gaming and stuff. I think he'd
Yeah,
be
so
into the
we
news.
got 15 minutes, so let's go ahead and progress into the news segment of our show. But before I do that, one final thank you, Pascal, for
Yeah,
coming
for
up
sure, man.
and taking time out of your evening to spend an hour talking with us about
Wow.
what you do and
And
giving
gaming.
us a chance to get and the people listening to get a chance to get an insight into what kind of stuff goes on, you know, kind of behind the scenes that people don't really talk about all that much.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Anytime. It's thank you for having me on.
Dude,
your show.
yeah.
It's a very
Awesome.
interesting experience.
For sure.
Yeah. So,
What kind of
with
news
that,
we got?
we'll get into the news. So the first news, we just talked about Dark Souls, and last week I did talk about this game as well. And I'm really sad to say, but Elden Ring has been delayed.
Really?
It was going to release January 21st, 2022, but it has now been delayed to February 25th, 2022. And they've been struggling a lot with leaks recently so there was like a segment of gameplay that got released or got leaked. And like I don't know how people keep getting a hold of this, but that keeps happening. And in November, there's going to be what they call a closed network test that is going to be showing players the, quote, opening hours of the full game. So that's where we're going to probably, November is we're going to see some first, like, gameplay and not, like, trailer stuff.
Is it a sequel to, like, The Shadow of Mordor?
No, it's related,
Same
it's
thing?
created by the Dark Souls guys.
Oh, okay. You ever played Dark Souls, Pascal?
I have not, sadly. I probably should, but I heard it's really hard.
It
Yeah.
is, for sure.
Hard games.
Honestly, so I've never played Demon Souls. I've played 1, I've played 2, and I've played 3, but I've played 3 the most. Honestly, the story is so disconnected. If you do get into it, I would recommend playing 3, because it's probably the most forgiving. Don't play Sekiro, because that game is the opposite of forgiving. That game will tear you down forever. It is so hard.
Oh, I have to play that one. Yeah, that was...
The
I have
Shadows
to play
Die
that one. That's
Twice
the only one
thing?
I've
Yes, that game is ridiculously hard.
played. Yeah, that was insane. That was insane. Just spent 4 hours on, like, one boss.
Yeah.
That was... Wow.
Yeah, and there's so many. All right, so the second news, and you're going to be interested in this, Jeremy, because I
Ooh,
know
I'm
you've
ready.
talked about it. So you might have heard this because it's kind of big deal. So Valve has actually banned games that allow NFTs or
What is
blockchain.
NFTs?
So I'm going to stress here that I do not know very much, but NFTs are kind of
understand it
so
better.
they're blockchain sort of thing. So it's I guess kind of related to Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, but So Valve banned games that allow them or distribute them because they say that items that have value in the real world shouldn't be sold in their games, and that goes against their terms of service. So they've banned any games that do that.
I don't really understand Bitcoin very well, so...
I'm really choppy about it too, but apparently people are... There's like a mixed perception of NFTs. Some people are like, oh yeah, we're all about it, and then some people are really confused about it.
Epic Game Store is now playing the rival.
No, don't get ahead. That's my next news story.
Ugh.
Yeah, so, like he said, my next news story that he just so
Sorry.
horribly spoiled is that Epic Game Store will welcome them after Steam has banned them.
They're
which
trying.
is interesting. And what's funny is, so in this article, it says that before they announced that they were going to do this, the CEO of Epic had made statements saying that they won't touch NFTs because they're scams. But since Valve has banned them, they've reversed ship and gone, oh, we're going to do it now.
Right.
So that's interesting.
Pascal, you know anything about NFTs?
Yeah, do you know anything about NFTs, Pascal?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know much
I don't
about
wanna
it
even
either.
try to get
You know anything about crypto or not really?
Cryptocurrency's
Me
really
either.
confusing.
completely in the dark about all of this.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that this is, because when I searched up gaming news today, this is something that came up, and this is supposedly a really big deal, but I think the majority of the people in the gaming community don't know anything about NFTs or cryptocurrency or how it works or how it will affect them, so, and myself included, so I'm not going to pretend like I'm on some high horse and that I know better, because I don't. But yeah. So anyway, this will be my last one here. And this is a big one for
Okay.
me, because I talked last week about how much I despise the direction that Madden has gone. I know we talked about it earlier. But, so
Oh, man.
the organization FIFA has said that it is now going to be trying to split from EA and is going to look for other publishers to make their games.
Finally sick of it.
So, they released a statement titled FIFA set to widen gaming and esports portfolio, and they basically said that a lot of people think it's because EA was going to rebrand the series to something called EA Sports FC.
What is that?
So, you know how, like, most soccer teams, it'll be, like, whatever, like, Arsenal FC football club. So, basically, FIFA was probably pretty upset that EA Sports basically said, oh, the next FIFA game we come out won't be called FIFA. We're going to say it's called EA Sports FC, because it's our game now, but, you know, it's still going to use the FIFA clubs, and FIFA didn't like that. So they basically said, you know, screw you, we're going to go find somebody else to develop our game.
Right.
And EA had some statement about, you know, FIFA being ridiculous and nonsense. It's a bunch of It's just kind of funny to me to read this and go, it's basically two multi-billion-dollar companies and trademarks yelling at each other.
Right.
And I'm sitting here like, man, I just want a good game. I just want a good game.
I don't think you're gonna get that in any of the EA games coming out.
I don't think so either.
Pascal, your thoughts on EA as a company?
Yeah.
And FIFA and Madden and all that?
You have any thoughts?
Over here, we don't really have Madden, but
Really?
it's more FIFA stuff.
That's interesting.
Football.
Oh yeah, right. Because football's not
We don't
even
have
big
that.
It's not big in the United
not
States.
the U.S. Because I forgot you're
You call it football. Here it's all.
ready.
Football is a different sport. Here.
Yeah.
You guys call it soccer, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Football here.
That's actually so funny. I completely forgot. Like you're from the different country.
Yeah,
But
that's crazy.
yeah, but
Across the pond, Pascal has decided to join us today.
we're all into the same stuff. So you
Yeah.
wouldn't even know.
An ocean doesn't make that much of a difference. But yeah, this is really interesting. It says something like FIFA has determined that overlaps between virtual sport and FIFA's football competitions must be more closely aligned.
Mhm.
I don't know what that means. They want to make some big esports thing about it, I guess. So apparently next year, or for soccer, for him, football, it's going to be interesting next year because you're going to have EA Sports, doing its thing, or not because FIFA's pulling out. And we'll see what goes on or who's going to... And honestly, I'm curious if it might convince other companies like the NFL to reconsider its deals with EA after
They're
such a big scandal
They're
like
such
this.
a garbage company. Like
They've
their
been
games are
voted
bad.
the worst company in America for several years.
But I'm very biased because I don't enjoy sports games at all. And I know you do. Pascal, what are your thoughts on sports games?
Have you played any?
Oh, I hate sports.
Me too. I don't like sports at all. I don't watch football. I don't watch soccer. The Super Bowl could be on. I wouldn't even watch it.
See,
I don't
my
even
thing
care
is,
about
I
it.
grew up playing Madden. For years, I grew up playing Madden and the EA Sports NASCAR games, and those old games are all really good to me.
Yeah, I've heard
playing
that.
them. But, as they've gone on, they've gotten worse. So for me, I'm really, because I would love to play Madden again. I would love to play a NASCAR game again, but I don't because...
Download the old ones.
Well, that's the thing. That's why when I play Madden, I play Madden 2004. Or when I play NASCAR, I play NASCAR 2004 because they're good games. But yeah, I mean, it's just... I'm really interested to see what's going to come of that crazy separation there from the two big billion-dollar corporations.
I might have something after you're done.
Okay. Do it now because I'm going to go through the game releases this week.
Okay, mine's short. It's just a Metroid Dread scandal. Pascal, you played any Dread? I recently started it. I don't know, you're a Switch fan.
Yeah, I also started it. It's very good so far.
It's
I
great.
love the game.
Because
It looks really good.
I'm a big fan, like I said on the last show, but you said you're a big fan of Metroid and Game Boy Advance. Metroid Fusion and Metroid Zero Mission, I think, are like the two best
Fusion and
Metroid.
Zero Mission are so good.
That's what I'm saying. They're like the
Yeah,
best
this guy
Metroid
knows what you're
games.
talking about.
For sure, but
Sure.
the scandal that apparently a lot of the developers were not credited in the credits of Metroid Dread, and they are not happy.
Yeah, that is really big, if that's true. Hold
That's
on.
not
I'll pull
right.
it up because that's usually what you do, but go ahead, keep talking about
I'm
it.
dealing with the music, holding the phone. And my
Yeah,
laptop.
honestly, this is a multi-person job, and we only have two.
Oh man, our studio is pretty nice here, Pascal. It's a professional radio
It's pretty
studio.
good.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's really cool to be here and to be doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
My internet's so spotty, so I'm gonna have to take your word for it.
Well, yeah, I haven't read into it, but I read a little bit about it, and apparently that's not even that uncommon, which is really, really sad.
Yeah, I'd imagine there are some roles that are uncredited, and there's not like a big fuss about it, but
Imagine if the next Pokemon Unbound came out and his name just wasn't in the credits. Like,
I would
so
be angry.
mad.
I would be
I would
angry.
fly to Canada and I would find Skelly.
That's awesome.
Fight him.
But anyway, we are nearing the 6 o'clock here, or
course, of
whatever time it is for Pascal.
What time is it?
It's
Yeah.
almost midnight now.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness,
man.
dude, that is crazy. Again, thank you for staying up with us. But I am gonna I am going to finish the show off the way I always do with the
course.
upcoming game releases, most of which I probably won't care about, but they're not just for me, they're for everyone. So, the upcoming releases, starting with today, a game called Nuclear Blaze came out today on PC. Tomorrow, Dying Light Platinum Edition comes out on the Switch.
Oh, but oh yeah, I saw that.
So that's coming to the Switch. Dying Light 2 is coming out soon as well. There is a
Yeah.
big release here that I'm really excited to talk about. Into the Pit for PC and Xbox One tomorrow. Also tomorrow is War Mongrels for PC. YouTuber's Life 2 for all platforms.
What is that?
I have no idea. That's an interesting one. On the 20th, there's Healing Spree for PC, Jars for PC and Switch, and They Always Run for PC, which I don't know anything about that game, but it's bolded here, so apparently it's a big release. On the 21st is Growbot. I don't know what that is.
Is it a sequel to like the Grow Home and Grow Up games?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you'll have to look that up. But the big one coming on the 21st is Resident Evil 4 VR.
Will you be picking it up?
I don't have an Oculus, so no. I would
Man.
love.
I had one. I definitely.
Oh yeah,
See,
honestly, I've thought
Resident
about getting the Quest for a long time, but that I'm excited to see that come and you know what's gonna come out. That's really cool. So after that, also on the 21st is Sands of Aura on PC, Tandem: A Tale of Shadows on a bunch of platforms. On the 22nd, there's the Dark Pictures Anthology, House of Ashes, Happen Lance, Jumanji, the video game Enhanced Edition is coming to PS5. That's a PS5 game, so that's interesting. Mega Monster Party, LOL Surprise Movie Night is coming out the 26th.
Oh my god.
There's a bunch of other stuff. The only other one that is coming out that I want to talk about before next week is the Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Oh.
Honestly, I've heard mixed things about the Avengers game, so I don't.
I heard it was really bad.
I don't think I'm going to be picking that one up.
Yeah. I mean,
But there's a couple of cool games coming out
Sounds
next
great
week.
and all, but I'm really interested in YouTuber's Life. Does that mean I
YouTuber's
can
Life
be
too?
multiplayer?
Yes, I hope so.
Can you-
Honestly, or it's a
do
no
you
go.
get to play? Do you get to play as
I
YouTubers?
have no idea what it's about.
Be
I
Markiplier.
want to drink milk as Markiplier. Please.
I remember the Markiplier like Five Nights at Freddy's videos, and that was first really popular. And
Everybody was Markiplier. Five Nights at Freddy's.
when he did the 2020, the like all 20 mode, he was the first person
He
to
was
ever
crazy.
beat it in the world.
I think so.
Yeah, that was.
And he did it for the Ultimate Custom. Well, Ultimate Custom Night's ridiculous.
Somebody did do that, the 50-20 on that.
Yeah, that game's crazy.
All right, so hold on. I know we're nearing our time to go, but just because he's so excited about YouTuber's Life 2, I'll share the description. It says, become the best YouTuber in the world, collaborate with legendary celebrities, explore the city of fame, find out hidden stories, and follow trends to create viral content. Live the life of an emerging superstar. Fame, fortune, and fans are waiting for you. Now that
So
sounds...
you can collab with Markiplier.
Yeah, so you're not playing as him, you're playing with him.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Can we play? Can we play with what's his name? Keemstar.
Oh my god. Jeez. Alright. But with that, I do think it's time to sign off here, you know.
And I'm gonna cue Battle Trainer, Battle Marlin, Battle Rival, Battle Shadow Grunt, and Battle... Oh, there's Battle Trainer twice? Alright, I'll only cue it once, but these songs have, with the updated audio, have not been released. Some of them not released yet. Well, none of these versions have been
They're
released
not
yet.
in the game.
'Cause I know in Battle Rival you added that little bang soundtrack, sound bit that wasn't in there. Oh, I caught that.
Yeah, that's. It actually says bass, but it's a sample that Goichi knows they used in Bade's battle theme in Sword and Shield.
Oh, okay,
Since
cool.
he's also a rival.
Well, I'll cue all those, and I'll clip them in at the end of the recording, too, and then link to Pascal's information on the
Yeah,
YouTube
absolutely.
and everything.
When we do upload the video onto the What You're Playing YouTube,
Yeah.
we will, in the description of that video, plug a link to Pascal's social media so you can give him a follow because
Definitely
he deserves
should.
it. And we will go ahead and link the Pokemon Unbound in the description,
Yeah,
so
we'll
it'll
link all
take
that
you to
stuff.
directly to the page where you can try it out for yourself if you're so inclined.
You should.
And
Everyone
you should,
should.
probably. I should, honestly. But maybe,
wait for the December
maybe wait
update.
for the December update. But just in case, they can always come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, thank you so much, Pascal, for
thanks
taking
coming
time.
on, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool having you.
Anytime. This was great. This was fun.
Yeah,
dude,
honestly.
maybe we'll have to have you back sometime. Or
Yeah, or if we can get Skelly on here, that'd be cool. We're exploring these avenues, but yeah, for
hey,
now,
man, if you ever also just want to like play Smash or anything,
Yeah,
play
right?
Switch, I'll play.
the time difference will be a problem, but
That's
we can
true. We'll figure it out. But all
I'm
right,
always
man.
awake. I do not sleep.
We're college students, neither do we.
All right,
But
man.
yeah, anyway, so this has been WXSU LP Salisbury with your hosts David, Jeremy, and our special guest
Pascal.
Pascal. Thank you for coming, and this has been What You Playing, episode 4 now?
I think we're on 4. Yeah.
We've been doing this for a month. That's
yeah,
crazy.
it's awesome.
But yeah, this is us signing out. We'll see you guys next
let's
week,
see you,
5
man.
p.m. Eastern. Thank you for watching, or not watching. Thank you for listening.